Lolo is sabotaging me this morning. On an early Friday morning, she slips a comment in right as the technical director says, we're live. It's a beautiful Friday morning!
No one can dim your shine.
No one. Hey, mellow. Accuracy number one. I can't finish it. Good morning. It's a Friday morning right here on JASIRI. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get straight into it. But you know, on Fridays, it's a special show we have because we have a hot topic special. Our guest is getting all dolled up in makeup and she's going to be with us on the set any moment from now. But you know how we do. We want to ease you into the conversation. So please get a glass of something nice and chilled ready. But before we grill, let's get some ice. Now, ladies, our icebreakers. I can't take all the credit. I can't take the credit. We have producers that take that credit. So, ladies, I have a few questions I would like us to take turns to answer. That's where the sabotage came from. See your face. Acting like a petulant 5-year-old.
Besides Sleepy Teen, I miss Richmond so much. Thank you for coming back.
Shout out to one of our studio technical operators. He was greatly missed, and that's why Lola is shouting out. All right, let's get to my questions, ladies. Ladies. 4 questions, very quick. Hey, Joe, please, this is not the time to show your age and start thinking and pulling. I want us to show that we're still young and spry chickens, okay? Spring chickens.
Okay.
All right. So, if you could live any... Blessings, are you with us? I want to be sure. If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would that be and why?
Okay.
Me, I'm asking the question. I have answer.
Catherine starts.
Starting from right. Don't worry. She heard me coming.
Cuba.
Where?
Cuba.
Why?
No, I know the reason.
What's the reason? I'm afraid to ask.
The reason?
Is the reason legal?
Well, then let's forget about it.
Let's leave it at Cuba.
Cuba. Blessings.
Sounds like Cuba, Sha.
It's Cuba.
Are you sure it's not Cuba? Okay, mine will be Iceland.
Eh?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Iceland is the most quiet country in the world and I want to hide.
From who's chasing you? Talon Leo.
I don't think people understand how much I love low-key life. Like, I just want to hide for a year, not talk to anybody, any of these ladies here. I just want to rest from them.
We will look for you and find you and come and gather you from there.
When you know I can't come to
Don't ask that question. You have no right to ask me that question. Let's move on.
Okay, where would I want to live? I'd love to live in Thailand because I love greens, I love tropics, and they have a lot of fruits I enjoy. And I'd love to tie a wrapper around my chest for like a whole year because
Thailand.
Thailand. Let me not say free the rest of it.
Yes,
the girls. Where would I? So I thought about this and all these places. At the end of the day, I just want to be somewhere with a loved one, enjoying myself. If it happens to be Paris, no wahala. If it's Maldives, no wahala. If it's Obumas herself, as long as there's 24-hour light, no wahala.
Why don't you say you're romantic?
Does it look like a romantic?
Exactly.
I don't channels my elder sister. She's such a witch, but their husbands love them to bits. Honestly, can I drink from your cup of gold?
You know, you have to ask whether, she's, because you don't come across as that.
But
I reserve it for the people who need to see it the most.
At least, Blessings, we know that she writes a mean love letter.
There are still other questions. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going because this one that you people want to go down that road. Next question, Blessings, you go first. If you could see one movie again for the first time, what would it be and why?
For the first time.
Like so you're seeing it all over again.
So I'm more of a serious person, and I'll say Friends, Suits, Behind Our Eyes.
I asked for one.
I'm sorry.
What's the problem?
Okay, Friends. Yeah.
That's why I say she can be soppy.
Madam? Funny enough, I would like to see The Burning Train again. Indian music, Indian film. Do you remember that film?
No.
Oh God, that the train burns and they had to rescue. It's an Indian film, very old. It's called The Burning Train.
Is it the one that says
it's the song that they sang, Didi years a wee, Dida. Somebody were crying. I like emotional movies. But it was so real to me then. But I saw how it was shot. Do you know they shot that thing? They shot the train. You know that children's kiddie train?
Yeah.
That was what they shot it with.
So they now use the cameras to zoom in, making it look...
Oh my God, it was very emotional. Okay. Anybody old will know Burning Train.
Auntie?
Don't be.
They say don't show your age.
Yeah.
It's okay. Catherine, your own?
It would be The Gladiator.
Ooh,
Gladiator.
love
Well,
it.
I have to actually.
True.
It would be The Gladiator. It's such a rich film. The lines.
Was it really about the lions? Are you sure it was about the lions?
I would have said Spartacus,
And then
but
Russell
no.
Crowe. But then again, there's also Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah.
Oh.
So movies leave you like that. So
Yeah.
you're forcing me to. Lionheart with Mel Gibson was amazing. Lionheart was amazing. She doesn't know nothing about that. See how she's shaking
No,
her
she
head.
can know.
Wow,
She
Lionheart was
I don't
amazing.
know what you guys are talking
But
about.
I know one movie when she talked about Indian movies, Kabi Kush, Kabi Gone, one of my favorite. When I got into all this Bollywood,
Yeah.
Kabi Kush, Kabi Gone, please go and watch it. It's so beautiful. It is such a beautiful movie. Really? Okay, next question.
Yeah.
Lola, you get to start. If
Okay.
you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be and why?
Brushing teeth.
Joe, please. That's air pollution.
Do you know, actually, if I don't brush with a particular toothpaste, like I do not like a lot of Nigerian toothpaste, and foreign toothpaste are getting more expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever tried
1,000 naira for one
small-
tube of toothpaste.
I like toothpaste that has a lot of menthol, like overload of it. So if I don't get that kind of good toothpaste, it actually makes me nauseous. So every time I actually brush my teeth, like now that I have to come down brands because of cost, it's a nightmare.
Please keep brushing for the sake of all of us.
I've even moved to Paco because
But no, Paco is okay.
No, I'd rather use Paco. So weekend I chew on the Paco.
You mean chewing stick?
I heard
Yeah.
chewing stick. It's called Paco in Yoruba.
in Yoruba?
Okay. So for me, it's traffic. Because I feel like I spend so much of my life going somewhere, coming back from somewhere. If I could eliminate that, that's an extra 2 hours, sometimes an extra 6 hours in my week. I may not do anything with it, too. I might just be scrolling on social media.
Yeah.
But I would have said cooking last or next, but I love to cook. So I think it's the prep. I would
why
eliminate
she said,
cooking prep. If somebody else does the prep, we good to go.
So Luke cooks a storm. I don't even think she can ever help
I
herself.
can't. It's actually, I can't. I feel once I haven't made something fresh or new or tried something recently, I start feeling like something's missing, something's wrong. Okay, Catherine, your own.
It would be waking up early.
Sorry, you're on JASIRI. I can't help you with that one.
It's waking up early. I'm a Taurus. We don't do. We are not morning people. But you know,
But I'm a morning
sometimes-
person and I'm Taurian. I'm totally morning person.
Are you on the
April
cusp?
Taurus.
Is she on the
I'm
cusp?
April
That's why.
Taurus.
No, April.
Oh.
That's why.
One day, Catherine is going to give us the breakdown.
Oh,
of all
God.
this.
So
I want to see. I want to
talisman people.
I want to see how
I
she
will
reads
die
us.
with this one, the Virgin Virgo.
I can argue that there's nothing that relates humans to zodiac signs.
It'll be an interesting conversation. Final question, because we have to go and as our guest.
I didn't even
ask
ask the answer.
Oh, sorry.
Mine would be chores.
What chores?
I don't like work. Just wake up, have your bath,
Soft
come.
girl.
Yeah, all the sweeping, cooking, it's not me. It just doesn't work for me.
Please,
But
if Blessing's husband future husband is listening, please. Our girl does not like hard work. We're not here for the manual labor.
I mean, before I used to use work.
Low. How many A's do you have?
I used to use work as an excuse to get out of church, but now it's like, you got more time. Come on, go sweep it.
But Blessing, do you know that's quite contradictory because you're one of the people I know that has a lot of, let's say, side things that you do.
So house chores is not my thing.
Yeah, there are a lot
I
of people
could
like
work
that.
from morning till night.
Not
like
that you cannot do them.
Yes,
You'd prefer not
I'm
to.
very industrious, right?
Yeah.
I jump from cooking to singing to
sewing.
Did I say cooking? Sorry.
Sewing.
Auntie Chinchin.
Sewing to shooting to doing any other thing but house chores. Like I can be busy morning till night, but doing something else but house chores.
We have that in common, girl.
Not that you cannot do it. It's just that you
no,
prefer
we
not.
don't like to do
I'm
it.
hardworking in another dimension.
Do you like to wash with your?
I've not
with
done
your-
that in 2
with
years.
your hands.
You haven't done it in 2 years. I don't think I've done it in probably 10.
No, excuse me.
I've not
don't
done
say
that in
so.
2
Let's not
years.
generalize, 'cause
I
want
wash
to
my
narrow it down
underwear from time to
you know,
time.
What?
You know, what the still hands with no, because I'm already giving me that eye that know what you're gonna say. You know, washing your,
Intimate.
you don't wash it with hand.
No, I
machine
do.
wash it.
They go into the washing machine.
Are you kidding?
When
With
my
the
washing
clean.
machine was
With drugs.
faulty,
It's never
I
as
waited
clean
for
as
it.
I
With the
want it
dross.
to be.
Yes.
They go into the machine.
Yes, but they're separated. We can't talk about. I'll explain later.
Okay. No, I want
One
that
final
one with my
question.
hand, but
One
I
final
gather it.
question. I'll be the first to answer. If you could rename yourself, what name would you pick. I thought about this, but I think I am Tolu. That's it. I can't imagine somebody calling me a Blessings or somebody calling me a Catherine or a lot.
I think because you're used
you
to
bear your name. It's sort of like, I feel like you grow into the name. What's that thing Yoruba people? Oruko ma n ro yan, abi? Yeah, you grow into your name. Yeah. So Catherine, would you change your name?
Yeah, I probably would bear Renee.
Eh?
Renee.
Why?
Or just reborn.
You don't want
This was a croissant. So it can be all buttery and crisp and light with many layers. Croissant. See, somebody will end up naming their child. We've heard Mercedes. We've heard somebody will name a child.
There's this lady on TikTok. All she does is try to imagine. Like she was like imagining the words didn't exist for like those situations they existed for. So she was like, imagine naming your child Disaster. It just gives. I tried to picture it like if it didn't have that meaning. Yeah, like some names she just comes up with like detergent. Oh my God. And some of them actually make sense, like macaroni.
And the short form for detergent would be deterge.
You get don't say it like detergent. Say it like detergent. Okay, Blessings, if you could give yourself any name, what would it be?
So first of all, I'd like I would like to say that my dad ate with my name. Blessings. It's just so beautiful. But I think that there was a time that I dated this guy, Izigala from Kogi State, and there was this particular name. So I heard his sister calling the child Arida. I'm like, what? What did I just hear? It's actually Arida Ojo. I don't even know what Arida means. I know Ojo means God. And I'm like, I'm so naming my child Arida.
Arida.
So if I were to have another name, it would be Arida. Arida.
Arida. Okay. I like it. I
always fancy myself as a creature from the ocean. I think I'd love to be called Pearl.
It's the way she just
answer this straight.
It's what she said again. I fancy myself. I always see myself as a creature.
I thought she was going to say mermaid.
Water.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people just think of mermaids as the only creature.
You're addressing like one. What if you're already in the sea?
There's so many creatures that are in the sea.
Yeah.
Under the
if you were going to be one creature in the sea, what would you be?
Catfish.
I know I would not be
bottom feeder.
I think I'll be one of those that you see that you fear.
I would be
so pretty, but I would eat you.
I would be a killer whale. Wow. Killer whales are the Scorpios of the ocean. Wow.
Yeah,
those animals are crazy. What? Well. If you've never watched a documentary about killer whales, please go and watch.
Yeah, they are the Scorpio of the
They are. So, we gotta go.
You've not answered.
No, I've answered. Okay. And she said this. You know what name came to my mind? A child named Alopecia.
I think she said something. She said
well, if you name your child Alopecia, if the name did not have the meaning,
Alopecia sounds.
Alopecia won't be bad.
I think she even said something like caricature.
Alopecia sounds like a microorganism.
Like caricature.
Alopecia. What is that microorganism that thrives in the daytime and in nighttime at a certain temperature? Alopecia.
Okay, all right. So we're going to go for a quick break before we have names that our parents not name us. And then we're going to, of course, hey, this is not my line, but I'm taking it anyway. So we can usher our guests in because when it's Friday and it's our Hot Topic special, we bring guests who bring the heat. Of course, we start with the heat ourselves. Again, not me. Shout out to our producers. We'll be back after the break.
Welcome back to the show, guys. Our guest is in the studio with us, and whether you've been following the drama or just tuning in for the first time, get ready to join the conversation and make your voice heard. This is JASIRI. We're about to bring down the house with our Hot Topics special guests. Let's do this.
Oh, sorry. Is that the same person?
Already happening. I almost person. Of course. You not
your glasses.
No Blessings. This one floored me. I was like, I almost was like, girl,
Okay, all right. Without further ado, let's give a warm JASIRI welcome to the beautiful, the delectable, reality TV star. And a lawyer, another lawyer. This is just something to make the note over. But welcome to JASIRI Comfort Booth.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited.
I've been exposed to the behind the scenes.
Yes.
Oh, she saw a lot of Catherine's madness. She needs to see how Catherine misbehaves when the camera is not on her.
No, that was you.
Yes!
That was you.
We love it.
Nice,
no,
nice,
but you know, I bring life to this. I'm the glue that puts everybody together. Though I spot your designers, Catherine. I just want to know whether you're doing Yahoo now.
Guys, I don't know about this lawyer, but there's something about lawyers with entertainment. Spouse is a lawyer and is into music.
Yeah.
Our lawyer, Lolo, is a lawyer, and she's, of course, is showcasing her talent
Lolo?
every day.
Listen.
And to mention but a few, but you are a lawyer, and you found yourself on reality TV. How did that happen?
Short story, I was scouted. So interestingly, you know, I noticed how Lolo reacted to the different sides of me. And it was a different side of me that the casting director saw and said, okay, this picture is interesting. It was my picture, my birthday picture, and said, you know, why don't you talk to her? And the rest, they say, is history. So when they came and spoke to me, you know, I didn't have my lawyer cap on. Because if I did, I probably would have been a bit more toned down. I wouldn't have probably jumped into the water. You know what I mean? The deep end of reality TV.
But wait, have you hung up like your law degree? You're not practicing. You're not involved in legal stuff anymore. What is that?
No. I'm still involved in legal stuff. I guess they say once a lawyer, always a lawyer. But I'm 24 years at the bar. I've paid my dues. So right now you have, if I get briefs and all, you have young ones that you're bringing up. So you show them the ropes.
Yeah.
And when if you have to get involved, then you
Is
get
it that
involved.
obvious that I'm young? Because she just keeps
Show them the ropes.
I know where the water flows.
In that direction.
But when she said young one, she was like this. Now she was like that.
All right, so Comfort, let's get started. Our very first hot topic for today. So a 37-year-old man has been arrested for pretending to be a doctor and running a hospital in Lagos. Now, the police found 2 fake certificates from Obafemi Awolowo University, as well as the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. The man admitted to creating the certificates electronically and only has a West African school certificate qualification. Now, imagine this. He had 6 employees, 2 of whom were trained nurses, and he also claimed to have performed 3 operations, including 2 cesarean sections and 1, this is a setup, appendectomy. Appendectomy, you know what I said. Now, can we really imagine? Guys, let's take a look at this video. Okay, so we had an issue with the video, but obviously this guy has been running rackets, set himself up.
Close your mouth.
I don't understand. I have to start with Comfort, because I know you ladies will do what we do best. But Comfort, in this Lagos, fake certificates, has also performed surgeries, has trained people working for him, and then also employs people. I said, I don't understand.
So what's the question?
The question is, what do you think?
I don't know why you people seem surprised and shocked.
Hey.
No, I'm not. It's not, quite frankly. You have a country now with a population of what, about 200 million? I said, I think they've added 20 million on it. The general population is what? Young, hungry, desperate. Don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning what he did, but I'm just bringing out the desperation. Now, maybe he's always wanted to be a medical doctor, and life just happened. Now, he found himself and decided, okay, you know what? I can run a scam, a racket. You know why? Because let's be honest, in Nigeria, tell me which sector is not running a scam now. I'm not saying run a scam.
Yeah,
running a scam.
Present continuous.
And it's basically what the young ones see going on that they would key in. Where is the easiest place I can sink my claws in that would work? And because we're so gullible, right, as Nigerians, we don't even know our rights, which is the next part of the problem. So he knows that if he sets this thing up, gives it a little shine somewhere, in a place where people generally are probably educated only to a certain level, are not going to come in there and start demanding, please, can I see your certificate? And if he says no, I'm going to report you to the medical council, because they know. So there's limited education, limited knowledge, limited agency to assert your rights, to be able to see whether you are indeed getting the right professional. Then the second layer, he managed to get 2 people who are trained. Thank you. So sometimes he will behave like a demigod, probably, and say he won't see patients. Then they will get the nurse, please help me. And you know those ones too, like,
yes,
so she'll come in, yes, can I help you, and all that. And you know, a lot of the gullible ones are women with children. and they just want their children to be well. And somebody talks as if, you know, I can do this to make your child well. So quite frankly, I'm not surprised. What I'm surprised about is our surprise, and the fact that we need to help this population know how to, even amongst us, let's be very honest, how many times do you push for your rights? How many times do you realize that you're being scammed or cheated, or you have been cheated, and you decided to go to the authorities to report it so that this person who is cheating and other people will not cheat, that they should not cheat? Let's be honest.
Yeah, but ultimately,
the lawyer in comfort came out. The lawyer in you came out.
Ultimately, they will be discovered. Don't they think about that? And
he was in practice for 3 years. Did 2 cesarean operations and another cesarean.
one.
Do you know how many layers of skin you have to cut through to do a CS?
So probably the nurse.
Yes, of course.
That's why he employed people who knew this.
Who knew something.
But do you know there's so many shocking things many of us do not even know?
True.
Do you know even medical practice is just practice? Do you know that now you can actually go on YouTube and do surgery?
And learn, yeah?
And learn.
And practice.
And do things.
On YouTube.
It's just...
There's literally
there is
almost
nothing
There's
you want to learn.
A tutorial of it.
A tutorial of it.
So how, let's say this man was in practice
He's
for 3 years.
37.
So how did he get clients? Like, how do you get patients to come to your hospital?
So
When
that-
you choose a hospital to...
When there are nurse
HMO for it.
I had told, do you know that in Lagos, there's so many loopholes that people can hide? Because even the medical council and the association, how many times do they dial down or do they do routine checks on their people? So anybody can rent a back room. I know my friend died in a nurse's hospital because she went to give back in a back end nurses, you know those, I'm a midwife, self-acclaimed midwife, had the baby, she started to bleed, and of course they didn't have the know-how when they went to the blood bank to buy. They asked for license, they asked for documentation, they couldn't provide.
So can I interject here? So on the back end, you now have to look at the financials of
people
medicine.
can afford.
Exactly. And so desperation will take you to where you think, okay, this price, this cost seems a bit reasonable, I can afford it. Until medical facilities and treatments become, I don't want to use the word cheap, affordable. Is it affordable? And even then, what does affordable mean?
Or cost effective.
Thank you. Okay. We're going to keep on having this where people will fill in the gaps to help. And let's face it, there will be successes here and there because clearly there had been successes now. They completed 2, you said
CS
surgeries.
and
So cut a woman out, remove the child.
Almost 10 layers of...
She survived it.
So my thing is, like, you did mention that for individuals, we need to know our rights. But a lot of times, I'm not going into a hospital to go and ask the doctor to show me something because I want to believe that there are agencies there to have checked, right? I want to believe that this person has been verified. The hospital is, certified. Let's even say that it's part of, let's say, my HMO, for example. I will not walk there with the mindset that these people might be fake because I want to believe that agencies have done that for me to secure my own life.
Fair point.
Now going to a hospital when maybe I'm having a headache, that's what I can think about, and then saying, "Oh, give me your certificate. If you don't show me, I'm going to go to another hospital." And then you know that there sometimes a lot of bottlenecks. Like this one is not serious.
But he had 2
well,
fake certificates that he printed and apparently put on the wall.
So they can't know. That's the thing. So my point is, the normal person, even if I know my rights to walk into a hospital and ask, I would not think to ask because I want to believe that the fact that you've been here this long, it means that they verified you. They verified your hospital.
Okay, so just before I lose my train of thoughts, just help me. One, I would just want to ask is, what led to his being caught? That's one. But my own personal experience, as educated as I am and all that, when I was going to have a surgery, a major surgery, I had been seeing this doctor, but when it was time for the surgery, I said, "Sister, what's your name again? That your name?" She clearly, I said, "Where is that your medical certificate again?" I looked at it. I went and did my investigation because I was not going to lie down for anybody to cut me, and then I will wake up and see myself on the other side. No, I need to make sure that I had done what I needed to do. If it's my time, it's my time. But honestly, I still did my due diligence. And she was kosher.
I think that is just education on her part. I believe that is even education on her part. She had mentioned a lot of very important reasons. Any of these people on the lower cadre will go to anybody. Those people go to pharmacy. I have seen a pharmacist that sold a wound in my presence, and I know he's an Igbo man, and I didn't know that this person has a certificate. So sometimes it's more about what people can afford and what is accessible to them. And let's even look at it now. There are many Google doctors now.
Yeah.
Do you know even
we not
Google
doctors?
I was just going to go there. My children, I know their ailments.
Yeah.
I know when they are coming down with a cold.
Yeah.
I know when to buy vitamin C. I know when to use paracetamol. I know when it's, even when it's a little hard, I know some antibiotics and I know the grades. So a lot of us are now practicing some kind of self-medication,
self-medication,
but on different levels.
Yes.
But it's only when things get bad that these people get called out. I'm sure it was something that went off.
So they said it was intelligence from community members that led the police to him.
What I'm saying.
But I'm going to come back to the Medical and Dental Association or Council of Nigeria. There are oftentimes people who have reported doctors. Do you know how difficult it is to get a doctor's license removed or taken from somebody in Nigeria? It is difficult. So if it is that difficult and you're saying that people are going through all of this to be licensed to practice in Nigeria, we expect more. Maybe it's a website by local government that shows the hospitals or clinics that are approved and licensed. There has to be more responsibility taken from the agencies and people in charge of regulating this. Do you know how many people have died?
I agree with
Not
you.
with him necessarily, but just fake doctors, fake chemists, fake whatever you want to call them.
This is just one.
This is
of
just
them.
one.
There's so many.
In every local
Who
government.
are praying, yeah.
Do you know how
who are
many
praying they will not be
you know, I
caught.
had been in a hospital.
Auxiliary nurses. That's another big issue.
I had been in a hospital before, and this hospital, I went on to use them thereafter, but the nurse was talking in the reception that she didn't look at the patient's clinical, that she had given him something to see. My sister, I back my child. I ran for my dear life.
And you know, there's a lot of brain drain going on. I really feel sorry for all of us because at one time or the other, we're going to have to go to the hospital. But the truth is that other countries, other continents are collecting our doctors because we are not treating them well here. They're bottlenecks. They want to make money. They want to survive. They want to even ply their craft. But the environment is toxic. It's driving them out. So there's brain drain. You're having quacks coming in more.
You have economic pressures.
Yeah, and talking about brain drain, there are also people in remote areas that only have access to very limited hospitals or limited pharmacies. And most of these people want to, like, there's this God complex that those people have. So the people in the remote areas believe that they know what they're doing, right? They want to, they whatever they say, it goes, basically, and that's another challenge.
I know people will always defer to tradomedical. And I want to say that some of them, honestly, before the advent of hospitals and real medical practitioners, there was a way we took care of ourselves in Africa.
Well,
And I always want to bring myself back to that. My mom used to tell me that when she was young, that they could manually turn a baby in the womb. They could do that, the midwives of then.
Some people still do.
As in those times.
that's
And
what
I
I'm
hear that
saying,
there are
that
still some.
when you mentioned
it's not that when we talk about it, see the way everybody is saying,
No. I think ultimately we will be going there. We're still there. Some people are still dallying with medical whatever. But I think ultimately we're going to go there because Comfort has mentioned the brain drain, the quacks. It's giving rise to quacks and other things. So it's a conversation that's going to tilt ultimately to how our forefathers and our foremothers used to do.
moving on to
Let's move on.
Let's move on to another crazy one.
Okay, so there's been a lot to say concerning women and marriage on social media this week.
She said, oh God.
I'm so tired.
Okay, let's go.
So a lady gave unsolicited advice to ladies on why they shouldn't rush into marriage if they are below 30. Let's take a look.
And you're a lady, come closer. This message is for you. Now listen, do not rush to get married if you are under 27. Do not rush to get married. Your 20s is a time for you to explore and discover yourself. It's a time for you to explore on what exactly you want to do with your life, what kind of business you want to venture into, what kind of career do you want to build for yourself, what kind of husband do you want to marry, what kind of relationship do you intend to have with your husband and your kids. Your 20s is the time for you to figure out all of these things, where you want to live, the country you want to travel to, and all of that. This is when you get to discover all of this, not to rush to marry. If you rush to marry under 27, trust me.
She said, trust me, you will regret it.
Okay.
But comfort, unsolicited advice, but is it advice you agree with?
I don't think it was unsolicited. I think she should be solicited. Because the people who get the brunt of getting married is women, actually.
Yes.
There has been a narrative trying to say it's the man, but I disagree with that. So if I agree with her, it's a lot to unpack, but do I agree with her? To a large extent, I would say yes, and here's why. When we are being raised by our parents, community, extended family, we are told who we are. We're told what to do, what not to do. So when we come out into the world by the time we're 21 and they say, okay, you know, you're an adult now, 18, 21, you can be going on your way. Yes, and all that. What comes out is this made version that the family wants you to be. Well-behaved, go to certain places, read certain things, you know, don't disgrace the family. Nobody technically asks you who you are and what you want, not who you are, sorry, what you want, what you think, you know, contribute to this because this has to do with you. So you go in there as a totally different person. Now, when somebody dates you, person is in confusion. Should be not be this nice, gentle person where I say, be this jaguda that I came here. But the jaguda is the real you. Now, imagine if you had been in the dating pool as the jaguda, because that's how you had, they had allowed you to blossom as who you are. In the dating pool, you're jaguda. Who will be attracted to you? A jagudai. So you can jaguda. But that's not what happens. So you will enter a relationship 3-4 years, you people are goes, and you are not understanding each other. That's because that's when the real person is coming out. Now, so take it from her. She says, take your time, know who you are and all that. By the time you're 30, come out on tops, most likely. Yeah. But the truth is that a lot of people too, for some, it's nature, just come into their own, realize, you know what, I've decided that this is not, this thing that mommy, daddy, this is not me. Me, I can feel it. I can feel it. I have a spirit too, I can feel it. And I'll take this example from myself. I didn't get to know who I was probably about 10, 15 years ago. Yes. And that was because I just realized that there's something that wasn't adding up for me. So I didn't think I was inauthentic. I didn't think so. Yeah. But I wasn't true to who I was or who I am. And that affected all the decisions I took, including getting married, including that. And when I realized that, okay, sister, do you want to end up like all these people that you're seeing every day? You go to a place, you see sad women bitching about the mistakes they've made and the fact that, oh, society, or do you want to live on your terms and be happy? And then whoever comes up after that and realizes, oh, I like what I see, then we'll do it. So my long, short answer is yes. I think that was a good, because of the fact that we enter life as other people. So you need that time to figure out really who you are and then come out as your true authentic self. I'm a jaguda. I'm an nymphomaniac.
Yes, so I'm in this.
Yes.
I own my truth. And that's
I don't want to work. I'm a stay-at-home woman, kept woman. That's how they say it. And this is what I want. I want to be equal with you. Be who you are. Let the right people please identify you. That's
so
all.
what age would you think a woman, you know, is ready for marriage? I know it sounds like a cliched question, but
50.
Yeah. And you know what? So she said 10, 15 years ago. I'll tell you that even in marriage, I'm still discovering myself. And my likes and dislikes have changed. And my husband, I've had to adapt to him becoming more of himself. He's had to adapt to me becoming more of myself. And I have a friend who says the reason a lot of times society pushes young girls to marry early is that a lot of times if they wait and they see what is outside in the market, they'll say, sorry, I don't want to buy. Oh, see, conference space. Sorry, I don't want to buy. Because we had this conversation with Senator, he was here this week. We talked about the pressures that men face. And we talked about the fact empowered, we're still empowering and educating young girls. We now have these empowered young women. They know more, they want to be more, but we didn't do the same for the boys. Now some young women are meeting the young men of their age and they're like, nah, I don't want to do what my mothers and my aunties did with you that you want because your grandmother and your mother did this for your father and your grandfather. I don't want that marriage. And so you have a lot of young girls now who are looking at marriage and saying, what exactly is in it for me? And the studies will tell you that the happiest people are married men and single women.
Yeah.
Okay. You've mentioned two things. Number one, let's go back to even the issue of what age.
Yes.
Right? So in Nigeria, I think the adult age is 21, right? You're,
No,
is it 18?
18.
Okay, fantastic, 18. So if at 18, you know that you have been given your wings to fly, 25 is usually the age that they say women should marry. Again, it's because of childbearing. It's not issue of whether she finds out. It's because they want to make sure she be born. Biological clock, thank you. So you have 18 to 25, which is 7 years. Now, all I'm saying is that if there is intentionality in how we are training and bringing up our children, you stamped on them up to the time they were 18. Now that it's time, you should stamp on them and say, you know what, your life is in your hands, right? I need you to come out. You have 5 years, because once you enter the dating pool, once you enter the job market, this is who they're going to see. I need you to begin to, what do you like? Do you want to travel? So that should be our next training for them. So it's not just rush, I beg you go. What type of question is that? The answer I will give you is yes. So, but if you tell them, okay, this is the next phase, you're an adult, but because I've been there before you, I know that you need to know yourself. So please, this is the time. I need you to write. What do you want? How do you want it? Write. Discover it and all. Then you'll still be able to do the 25 because of the biological clock. But if it doesn't happen for you at that time, then again, it's because of biological clock. But remember, there are women that don't want to have children. In fact, there's a women that we should even tell them, we should help them and say,
don't have children.
Yes. Please don't have. Help us, don't have. Please help us, don't have. But we live in a society where we feel that the only fruit of marriage is children.
And women must marry and get
and
children.
I actually think that this generation is different. There are rules, the rules that guided us while we were growing up. I am a mother, and I'm training my daughter intentionally different from how I was trained. I had a lot of knowledge, but I didn't have enough street knowledge.
Street smart.
Because if you're not street smart, there's so many things that the street teach you.
Yes.
Than religious. Maybe for those that have religious leanings, that you would learn from your religion. So you have to find a way for them to be able to balance. I keep telling my daughter that marriage is not the only goal.
And it's not the only accomplishment.
It's not the only thing that you accomplish. I say, keep accomplishing your goals and the desires you have for yourself. Marriage is supposed to be something we do along our way.
I don't even see marriage as an accomplishment. It's something that happens out
that's what I said, along your way. So it's not like, oh, I'm not doing that, the only goal you have, your life will now start making sense once you marry.
I think I understand where you're coming from now. When you say children, nowadays children. Let me use street parlance. Nowadays, children are thinking differently. They're not. Marriage is not on their bucket list, They will tell you. My daughter tells you that I'm sure I'm not going to get married. I don't even want kids, and I say that's okay. We'll have a discussion again in 10 years, and I'm fine with it. It's you. It's your decision. But I like the fact that she's expressing.
Catherine, imagine you telling your mother you will not have children.
It's backhand.
God forbid. Your mother can start to have high blood pressure from that day.
Backhand first. You will not talk. When you say that thing, you're talking and you're moving back. You can't say it now.
And I feel like, just like the lady said, I'm not going to say it because at some point it felt like she was saying, do not marry until you're 30. But I do understand her saying, do not rush, because now the fact that, so marrying early, marrying late has its own advantages and disadvantages. But one thing I see about early marriages these days is a lot of people do not intend to. They only want to because the society expects that of them. And then because of that, they go into marriage and make each other broken people, and then they come out of marriage. And I posted something on my story.
They miserably
honestly. So some of them who are courageous enough come out. I posted something on my story yesterday. Someone was like, a day will come, you find somebody, when you find that person, hold them tight, because only you can deal with that rubbish, because you get married to someone, you break each other, you come out, and then two broken people are now in a hurry to marry, and then they're looking for someone else to break.
It's the
So
trauma.
So it becomes a ripple effect.
Exactly. So there's the advantage of marrying early, but if you do not discover yourself on time and you feel like you're only marrying early because you're going to get to know each other and grow together happily ever after, it only happens in movies. There are going to be sad times. There are going to be good times. If you cannot deal with it, then do not get married early.
I think just to add there is just to say that marriage as an institution has really been smeared. It has really gone through a lot of bad publicity in recent years. But I think we should always remember that we are spirit beings who are relational. That's how God created us. We were not created to be alone. And so while, yes, people, I don't want to get married or whatever and all that, remember that there comes a time when the children will leave, people will leave, you'll be on your own. And it's companionship in the long run.
Not marriage,
so
companionship,
so
partnering.
be intentional. Like, think about yourself. In 10, 20 years, where do I want to be? How do I? If you don't want to be with somebody, then make sure you have finances that you can put aside to put yourself in a home, because nobody wants to take care of you. Nobody's going to be there for you. But if that's not it, then be a person that somebody would like to date or be with, whichever way you want to, whether be in a long-term relationship, common law marriage, a proper marriage. Honestly, it's really all up to you, because nobody here is going to end up being the one to sentence you to heaven or hell. It's only one person.
Let's sorry, I have to go. I think of next.
You're not next. You're not next. We're going on a break.
All right, because I know, because it's a very interesting story, the angle she was going to...
we got to move on.
Okay, so we'll go on a very short break. Comfort Book is still with us, and I've been learning a lot. I almost got carried away.
Sorry to disturb.
Why are they distracting me?
Can you please do what we need to do?
Hot Topic Special is still on. Stay tuned. JASIRI returns shortly. So what were you saying? That was the shortest break I've ever seen. All right, our next hot topic comes from a Nigerian content creator, Young C, who took on a controversial challenge by burying himself alive for 24 hours, waiting our eye no go see. And it was all part of a social media stunt. Now, the challenge sparked widespread attention and debate, leading to the suspension of his TikTok account by the platform. The TikTok cited violations of community guidelines. That's what you see there. I think he's burying himself.
No, this is the opening. So he actually had a camera inside what they had created. It wasn't like a normal casket. There you see a camera there. He's talking. There's like a mat and things and all that. And it's just like, really? So I don't know if it's a Guinness World Record he's trying to break, or he's just trying to raise money and bring attention. I don't know. Comfort, what do you think? We've talked about this generation. Could we think of somebody doing this, a Nigerian, let's say 10 years ago?
Honestly, I don't know what the young people these days think about. Do you know, I have no problem with this challenge he is doing. But you know, it just breaks my heart to find out that you want to do something monumental and you do not have plans. You know, good plans on the ground. Have you researched enough? Like, you want to bury yourself alive. Do you know how many liters of water you would need? No. Even let's even say you want to do. Oh, how about, you know, I find out that people just jump on a spot. But that's why Hilda Bassi did what she did. She had a whole year to plan to do this. When this boy got out, there were no medical practitioners there to even, in case of incasity, he needs resuscitation, or he needs quick drip. He just did it locally. And that's how he would have died.
So apparently when he came out, he was dizzy. He couldn't
of course,
stand
he couldn't stand.
But Comfort, I want to hear what you have to say about this.
Okay, you know, there was a time that, I don't know which country it was that started one suicide pact thing that teenagers were...
Oh, it was the US.
A long man.
Was it
no, US has multiple, yes.
Okay, they were jumping onto the trend. I don't know why. Are you sure it was not Japan? Or something like that. Anyway,
plenty countries have.
What was the trend, sorry?
One suicide thing.
Suicide.
A suicide pact.
Yes, there was suicide pact. Then there's one that you would watch the whatever
one long man
imagery, and then it would affect them psychologically, and they would commit suicide. Now, this is, so it just goes to the heart of two major issues here. The hunger, the quest, the desire, the drive for fame. I must make it. I must be seen. I must be talked about. They must celebrate me. predicated on social media.
That validation.
The drug called social media. The way people chase likes, whether this content is the best, whether I have enough followers. And the issue of the followers goes to the heart of finances. The more followers you have, the more desirable you are to sponsors, to people who will probably give you money and all. So these things all, have met at the intersection for this youth, which has told them that social media is where they will make their money. You see young children, one video goes viral, and the person has 1 million, 2 million.
The crate challenge.
Until I've been suffering like this. I've been doing like this. I just even want to use
Do you believe it to the water?
I've been here for 1 hour. Am I being paid for this? You see what I'm saying? You were going out looking for how do you make money. These children will stay in singlet, boxers. Okay, this one has entered box. No, it's true. This person has entered box. The fact that his TikTok account has been suspended. Do you think that something is not going to come out of it for him?
Wait, but
somebody will open GoFund for him.
Would you guys believe if I told you that for a lot of people, it's not even about money?
What is it about?
I saw an interview where a girl publicly said that she's a prostitute, that she's a part-time prostitute. And then, she and the interviewer had their own banter.
Oh, that one where the guy walked
but at the end of the day, she said that she had lost some brands that wanted to work with her. She lost it. But are people talking about her? Yeah. Is she trending? Yes. Do you know that some of these people, it's not about money?
It's just to be mentioned.
They just want to be, they want validation. Yes, they just want to be. Because to be honest, some influencers and celebrities use money for trends. They don't get money, they just spend money to trend.
So let me also mention that his stunt is actually very reminiscent of an American YouTube. No, Houdini. Houdini still died eventually in one of his stunts. Yes. American YouTuber Mr. Beast. 2 years ago, he spent 50 hours buried alive to raise awareness about deforestation. He raised money. Then recently, he wanted to surpass that, and he spent 7 consecutive days buried in a coffin. He eventually came out and told everybody, don't do what I did. But he raised millions.
But that's what Lola was saying.
He broke records and set records. I still remember that the same money he used to come and donate to Africa.
If you are going to do that, Tolu, there are so many proper ways of doing things. Do you know in Nigeria, we don't even do quality control to know the kind of wood. How about if some animal bore through this thing and ate him alive?
What if his friends just even put sand inside that thing and walked away?
And it was just 2 or 3 people were standing by for him.
Exactly.
Because they might not even know where they are.
Suppose something, when it was time to move the casket, something got stuck, or something got jammed, or something. So then that initial part, there's so many things that could have gone wrong.
Then he will die.
So
it's a consequence of decision making, and I mean I don't feel sorry for him, whichever way this goes, because he's an adult, and this is one of the things we need to keep re-emphasizing to adults. If you take a decision, there are consequences. Simple.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm so happy that she asked us, are we almost done? We're almost done?
Listen.
The time has gone, because that shows you how much fun.
I'm happy. I feel like there's one topic I was here.
We will go to the makeup room and discuss that topic. We must hear from you. Unfortunately, you guys will not hear from her.
Unfortunately, guys, our time is up. We have to go. But we cannot go without saying a big thank you to
big thank you.
Thank you so much. Amazing. Such a fantastic mind.
Absolutely.
From the moment she walked into the studio, we all just had such a vibe.
My girl. Just don't speak French, because we're not
No, not today. So guys, have a fantastic weekend. Don't do it.
This is me. This part is me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, don't do what we wouldn't do, which leaves you with a lot of room. It's a wrap this week on JASIRI. Do it again starting from Monday at 10 a.m. Goodbye.
Bye. I'm so happy you had fun.
Oh my God, your mind is so great.
I love it.